Yes, my name is Bukola Okereno.
Oh, it's nice to meet you, ma. Please, could you tell us how public and private initiatives are helping the widows in society? Which public and private initiatives are helping? And do you believe that their work or their protection of widows is adequate?
Yes, like the one helping me right now, AAAF Foundation, Afolabi Ayisat. The foundation was very good. They have been helping through my children's school fees, and they even empower me. So that is what I'm using now to give my children food. So I'm very grateful, and they are really doing a good job, and they are helping people. That is it.
That's good to hear, ma. Do you think there can be some improvements? If there can be improvement, what do you suggest?
There will be a lot of improvements if government or even private organization can join hands together with them, because they cannot do it alone. We widows are many, and we really need help concerning the children, education, and all those things. So if the government and private sector can join hands with them, there will be improvements, really improvements.
Thank you very much, ma. It's nice to hear from you.
My name is Oluwakemi Veracruz.
It's nice to meet you, Mr. Oluwakemi. Please, could you tell us what society and the government can do to alleviate the suffering of most abandoned widows in society, especially in area of housing and finance, because they tend to be kicked out of their homes when they lose their husbands?
Exactly. Maybe if government should just set up and maybe a union or an organization, especially all these NGOs, if they can empower them more, give them more funds to support the widows out there, because most of them, they have issues with housing, they have issues with education, just like they've highlighted, and they have issue with their funding, doing things on their own, because they are not empowered. Because once you are not educated, at least be empowered, have something, a skill that you can boldly do on your own to sustain your families and as well. But if they can support them and give them more funds, they will do more.
Okay, ma. And can you tell us other effects of widowhood aside from the obvious ones? Can you tell us the personal effects that maybe are particular to yourself?
Like, in Nigeria, especially let me just say in Nigeria, that we have problems with our mentality. Once you, as a woman, once you lost your husband, the family tends to tag you and say you are the killer, you killed him, you are the this, you are that, you did not do this right. Because I believe because they don't want to be responsible for anything. That's why they started doing all those things. But it's because of the society. But at least you see one or two of them that can support you, but none. Because they themselves, they are not financially buoyant. Maybe that's why. But instead of them doing that, they should just stay aside and not, because that one will even give you a mental problem. Because when you are being tagged for what you've not done, and somebody is judging you for what you have not done, that can even make you to be depressed as a woman. So government also needs to come in there. Maybe they should have an organization or somewhere in the hospital, the government hospital, that you can go and you talk to a counselor there, that they can counsel you on what to do, what to expect, how to tackle your situation. So that's all.
All right, thank you very much, ma. Good afternoon, Mrs. Ololade. Please, how are your children, if you don't mind me asking?
They are doing great.
All right, thank God for that. Please, can you tell us how widowhood has had an impact on the education of your children?
Widowhood is something that you cannot even finish discussing it. But glory to God, with the help of Ayisat Afolabi Foundation, we are moving fine. We are moving forward. But before the foundation interferes into our affair, it's nothing to write home about. But thank God for His grace.
Can we talk about cultural practices in Nigeria? Did you undergo any harmful cultural practice when your husband passed? Or was it just a normal process?
It's not normal. It's not normal, because when my husband was around, he's a caring person to the brother, sister, but after he has gone, no help from anyone. Even though the blood brother, that is twins brother, when he was late, said, your children are my own and you are my wife, but I don't see them no more, but I see God and I see Ayisat Afolabi Foundation. Is the person is the foundation that is helping us out.
That's very good. Thank you so much for answering our question.
My name is Mrs. Oyewole.
Good afternoon, Mrs. Oyewole. Please, can you tell us about violence against widows? Because we understand it's widespread in Nigeria, especially in very cultural and traditional settings. Have you ever experienced this? If you did, how did you cope?
Violence, as in from neighborhoods, from friends, from husbands' families. Violence to the widows is something that is very, 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 very severe. As in everybody experiences violence in one way or the other. But to the widow, because people had their knows that she doesn't have anybody that will support her, so the violence will be severe. As in, even if it is an ordinary thing that she might do, and another woman out there might do such a thing, they can take it like she's a woman. But as a widow, we used to experience violence a lot, especially in the area of accommodation. As in, when you want to rent a house, as a widow, we need accommodation for our kids. Even we as a woman, we can say, okay, I can be managing with my parents, I can be managing with my friends, but the children, we need accommodation for them. Sure, you get. But when we get to the landlord, maybe we want to take house and he sees us that she's the only one coming, he won't give it out. Yes, he will say, if you are not married, I cannot give you my house. Even if you tell him that my husband is late, he won't give it out. In most cases, landlords don't give it out. You have to go and be begging your brother, maybe a friend that is a man or something, please come and pretend to be my husband. In that area, please, we just need help. In that area, we need help. Because anything that someone is going through, if you have a shelter on your head, you can be managing it inside your house. You will cry, you will do everything there. But if there is no shelter, it's very, very important. The landlords should please help us. As a widow, we are working, we will pay for our rent. Through God's grace, through AAAF, AAAF is trying about that too. We will pay for it. They should just help us and let us have a shelter on our head. Violence in that area, please.
All right, thank you so much for answering that question. Please, can you tell us about any form of cultural practices that you experienced on the passing of your spouse?
Cultural practice, I didn't experience much because I married to a Yoruba man, but I used to hear of people saying different things that they used to pass through. Maybe if their husband died, they will ask them to sleep with the corpse inside the house. Maybe they will ask them to wash the body and drink. The widows used to say